Hello, this is Mike, NoStressMike.com. Uh, uh, I'm going through a change, and I knew it was going to happen. I tell you, it's really cool about being old. And I enjoy being old. I know a lot of people have problems with it. I don't understand. Well, I do understand. They don't prepare. Right back to being prepared. Getting old is something you have to prepare for also. And what I've done is, I knew. Okay, I lost my wife. It's been almost 3.5 years ago. And I knew there was going to be some changes. Now, see, I got married when I was 22. And I was married 41 years. And so the majority of my life, I've known what love was, a loving relationship. I mean, we cared for each other. We took care of each other. We had our arguments. We had disagreements, stuff like that. You know. But the reality is, we had to oversee a lot of, how do you say it, faults in the other. And we started, like I say, at 22. And now she had brothers and sisters, so she kind of knew about relationships, that there's going to be some rocky spots. I did. It was a big change for me, learning to cope with someone that's not as perfect as I am. And so we had to see this in one another and adapt. And like I say, so really I was I really wasn't the only child, but it was awful close to the only child. My brothers were like, 15 years older than me, and so or more, and it was different. I could spend time alone as a child. I had to learn to spend a lot of time by myself. I didn't like it. Nobody to play with. I am active. I like to learn. I like to do things. And it was tough as a child because you're learning the rules of life. And then it was the racial days. So then self-defense moved up, was a priority. When I would rather learn really cool things, I spent a lot of time learning self-defense stuff. So being alone was not good. I don't have good childhood memories about the lonely time. It wasn't a good thing. All my fun time was with playing with others and being with others. And so I knew there was a transition when I got married. And it took my wife, I say, 41 years of educating me on how to be a better person, a better man. And I pretty much had to listen. But I still, I had to do things. I had to make changes. And that's where, I learned to put the stool lid down. I thought, hey, that's pretty cool, At the time, I didn't. It took me years to learn to do that. But I knew, once I lost my wife, I knew it was going to be, I had to find someone. And the sooner I could find someone, the better it would be, because I was still in good habits. And it's good habits that makes a good relationship. Now, I say it's been 3.5 years. I've been losing a lot of good habits. Now, and then especially most of this 3.5 years, I've been down here by myself. Back again, I'm by myself. I've been emailing. I haven't really taken out a lot of gals, or been going out dating and this type of stuff. I'm not much of a dating kind of guy, and I understand why now. I understand, but and that's what I'm kind of talking about is I knew there was going to be some changes, and I've been looking at it through the women that I've been writing and going out with and this type of stuff, and that's it. After they've been single for a while, they really are not nice women anymore. I used to think, because I had my wife, I used to think women were thoughtful and nice and nurturing and all this type of stuff. And what I have learned now is after they are single, they all these things that I thought were good, they don't have those things anymore. And so in other words, they've been getting used to being single. And like I say, even my friends, now I've got single friends. I didn't. And even my single friends, they're not right either. I mean, they're not thoughtful and nice and all this kind of stuff. So I'm learning that being single is a whole nother lifestyle, a whole nother, complete another life than a loving relationship. And few singles that I know of are thoughtful towards others. I'll tell you, it's amazing. I thought firing somebody over an email was a bad thing. I thought, man, when I fire somebody, I look them in the face, I explain why, I let them understand everything, and then let them know that they're fired. It's funny because I have never had so much. I mean, one thing you have to, when you're single, you have to get used to rejection. Now, rejection is one thing, like being fired, but I'll tell you, the thing that I thought was, it's now to the point it's amusing. Through the email, we start gaining some kind of relationship through emails, and then they just cut you off. It's amazing to me how these women are like that. I mean, they are really hurtful. A single woman, I don't know if they go out of their way to hurt people. I mean, they're so nasty. I don't know if that's the way it is, or why. I don't know. But hey, it's not just the women. I'm just telling you, I've had more experience. Now I've had more experience with single women than single men. Like I say, I only know a handful of single men, and they're all the same. The single men are the same as the single women. They're not thoughtful. They're not pleasant or nice. And I've been trying to stay pleasant and nice, but now I'm going to have to start changing my way of looking at things. And the reason is, it's too hurtful to be pleasant and nice when everybody's going to be shitting on you. So that is why I think these single people are like that. And like I say, it's been 3.5 years. So now I'm starting to change my outlook on how I'm going to do things. We're coming up to New Year's, and you remember I always talk about the Chinese believe New Year's is the time to reevaluate your life and stuff like that. That's what I'm doing now. I'm preparing, I'm reevaluating, I'm seeing things. Like I say, I am changing. And it's been not to the better. Now I want to find out what I can do, because I'd like to improve myself all the time. So now I'm trying to figure out how I can go through change because I'm gonna have to change. I can't keep going the way I am, and because I say it's too hurtful. So I'm going to have to change my attitude, and I think one of it is going to be I'm going to have to either. I'm not quite done with the idea of not having a woman. I'm not quite, but I'm reevaluating the kind of woman that I'm going to be looking for, and also I'm going to have to remember that's what I deal with is realistic. I mean, the realistic part, I may have to spend the rest of my years by myself, so it's reevaluating on all that too. But I know one thing: single people are different. I'm not quite sure how it's going to work right now. There are a lot of advantages, and these are the advantages I'm starting to see now. Like I say, with the wife, I had to make sure I had everything set up for her. And me, I'm much less. I need much less than my wife would. So that's another reason why I can go the places I go, do the things I do, and stuff like that. But anyway, I was doing that with my wife anyway. She let me do all that stuff. But now I realize these other gals, man, they've got a Christmas list all the time. And singles tend to want to use others. And that's one thing I never have, and I'm not going to. And that's why I say I've got to catch myself so I don't get in that kind of a mode. And because I want to try to get the best out of being single and do as much as I can. But now I'll tell you, it is hard. I say I'm a one-woman guy. I don't go out with all these different gals and all this kind of stuff. I'm going to have to start reevaluating that. And every gal I go out with the intent of spending my life with her. I want a loving relationship. Now I'm going to have to be thinking, what other kind of relationships are there? I've never thought about that before. All I've ever had was loving relationship, and even with my friends, I have my friends. I really do. I love my friends also, and that's because love means a lot to me. And like I say, I was the only kid, and my wife gave me good love, so I know what it's like. And that's really what I want, but I'm starting to realize that may not be realistic. But I'm just sharing my thoughts on how single people lives are so much different than others. This is Mike, NoStressMike.com.